Hello, hello, how are you? I am back again and today I am doing a 15-year review of my Vivienne Westwood Pirate boots. I cannot believe I've had them 15 years, but I thought that was a good amount of time to really talk through the quality, the craftsmanship, the wear and tear, and how fashions have changed in those 15 years and how these have always stayed in my wardrobe. Because quite frankly, I have been quite broke over those 15 years and I never sold them. So yeah, I thought I would do a review of them and show you them. I was also just trying on some winter dresses and seeing which ones the boots work with, and I think this dress is kind of cool with them. So this dress I actually bought a few weeks ago for my sister's wedding. It was on sale. I will link it below. It was a really good price. It was like 50 quid, which I thought was amazing because I love the little puff sleeves. I think they're adorable. I love the metallic stars. It's got kind of like the vampire wife vibes, but first of all, lined. Shady joke, sorry. First of all, lined, and second of all, just like a 20th of the price. Do you know what I mean? I love those vampire wife dresses. They're so beautiful. I think Susie Cave is amazing, but they are expensive. They're out of my price range. So this is a bit of a kind of like that vibe, but a lot cheaper. So this was like 50 quid. I will link it below. But I thought I'd try it on with my Vivienne Westwood Pirate boots because I thought it was kind of cool to have them poking out the bottom, because quite frankly, yes, it's cute with like little sandals, but when it's the depths of winter, you need something a little warmer, and pirate boots are actually surprisingly warm. So I thought I would do a review of them and yeah, just have a chat with you about them, where I got them, when I got them, if they're worth the money, all that good stuff. So yeah, I might put this on a tripod because my floors are quite creaky. Our house is really old. Every time I walk back and forth, you hear like of the floorboards, which, you know, not that chic. Anyway, this is my dress. I really love it. I'm so happy with it. Can you believe it was like 50 quid? That's amazing. But yeah, hopefully it's still online and I can link it because I think it's a really cool dress. Yeah, love the fit, love the print, can't complain. Anyway, these are my boots. I'm just going to show you them on and then I'm going to whip them off and yeah, show you them in detail on the camera. So yeah, see you in a second. I'm just going to sit down and get up my tripod. I thought I would sit down for this part of the video so that I could really show you the boots in detail and not be waving around the camera. But basically, here are my boots. They are so well worn. They're so well worn. They're so well loved. Is this too bright? Am I okay? I think I'm okay. So yeah, they're so well worn. They're so well loved. And I have literally had these boots for 15 years. I bought them from, was it the King's Road or the Conduit Street branch? I think it might have been King's Road. If I remember rightly, they cost about 250. I might be wrong, but it was literally 15 years ago. And I swear to God, I was working in fashion at the time. I loved these boots. I was obsessed with them. They were so comfortable. And I wore them basically all year round. I wore them in winter. I wore them in summer. I wore them spring and autumn as well. I just love them and they literally go with everything. Like, you wouldn't know it, but like they look good with like leggings and a baggy jumper. They look good with a vintage dress. They look good with Vivienne Westwood. There's like a full Vivienne Westwood look. They literally go with everything. I've seen people wearing them with jeans. I've seen them being poking out of like long dresses. I've seen them with little mini dresses. I've seen them with everything, and honestly, they're the kind of boots that kind of just go with everything. And not only that, but they are great quality. So I bought mine 15 years ago. As I have said, I wore them loads. I have had them resoled. I would say the first thing to do when you buy these shoes is put a rubber sole on them. They have a leather sole, which is beautiful, but the minute it rains and you wear them a lot, like that sole is going to disintegrate and you're going to start to get holes in the sole. So the first thing I did was put on a rubber sole. And I think I did get that rubber sole taken off and put back on because I wore them so much that they needed resoling, which again, that's how much I've worn them. Also, you can barely see the Vivienne Westwood logo on them because again, they've just been worn so much. But if you put the rubber sole on, it means that you can wear them in the rain and not have to worry. And believe me, these have been worn in the rain a lot of times. So what do we need to know? You will probably notice that mine have quite a dark colour leather on them. They were quite pale leather when I bought them, but they just kind of like, they get a bit of patina, you know, and over the years, the leather darkens up a bit like you get on a Louis Vuitton bag. So that is why my leather looks darker. I have to say, I actually think they look better worn in. I think when they're newer, like the leather is a bit stiffer. The, I don't know, I just like the softened leather and I like the darker colour of the straps. But that will just happen over time. You can speed it up by using some leather cream if that is any help, but it will just naturally happen. The main disadvantage of these boots is when you're walking, the buckles can jangle. So if you're trying to make a very quiet entrance into a room, that jangle is gonna happen. The other drawback to them is they can take just a few minutes to put on. Like if you're gonna slip on a pair of Converse or put on your pirate boots, these are gonna take about 4 or 5 minutes, whereas your Converse are gonna take 1. So they do take a little bit longer to put on, and you might not wanna do it in the morning in a hurry. What else? Oh yes, over the years, I've actually had, I think, about 4 pairs of pirate boots. I had them in red suede, which was so cute, but I needed the money, sold them. I had them in squiggle print, which I really liked, but with the print and the buckles, it's quite a lot going on. And I feel like you had to wear quite a pared down wardrobe to make it work. So I eventually sold them because, again, I needed the money. And then I had a heeled version as well, which I actually loved. I thought they were really beautiful and I really liked the heel. I just thought it was really flattering and just lovely, and they were really comfortable for the heel as well. But again, I sold them because I did need the money. But the one pair that remained in my wardrobe as a constant had to be the black pair. The leather is so good. It's just so soft. It's so well made. I cannot believe they're still going strong after all these years. You can see they are really well worn. The leather has kind of like misshapen a bit, but I quite like that look. They really become like almost like archive looking. The other nice thing about these boots is you can buy them in store, but you have to get quite lucky because sometimes you go in and they don't have them in your size or the colour that you want, and you have to basically pre-order them, and they can take about 6 to 8 weeks to make because there is literally one man who makes all the shoes. And I remember once ordering a pair of shoes and they were like, oh, it's normally 6 weeks. But at the moment it's 12 weeks because he's on holiday. So if you are lucky enough to actually find them in store in your size, go ahead, buy them. But if you need to pre-order them, it will take a little bit of time. But I do think that's really sweet. In terms of sizing, the sizes are actually pretty good. They're quite generous. These are a size 6, but I am now a size 7 and they still fit me. They wear well and they kind of do loosen, like the leather really kind of gives and loosens, which is lovely. But also just in general, like the size of these is quite generous for a 6. So I would say, if anything, size down. Like if you're a 4.5, go for a 4. Also, they are made in England, which I love. Yeah, they're made from beautiful leather. They are unlined on the inside. They sit really beautifully. They just kind of like crinkle down, and I really love that. If you have a chunkier leg, which I do, they're really nice because these are the only boots I've ever managed to find, I've ever managed to find which actually accommodate my chunky thighs, which is really good. On the inside, they have the leather sole and they are marked with Vivienne Westwood, although I think they're quite scrubbed off now over the years. And what else? I don't know, they're just an iconic fashion boot. I have worn them summer and winter. I've worn them for dinner. I've worn them shopping. I've worn them to fashion weeks. They just kind of they're never really like massively in fashion, but they're never ever ever out of fashion. And I think over the years they've kind of gone from being full Vivienne Westwood look to kind of like just morphing into different looks which are going at the time. Like when Comme des Garçons was like the biggest thing and everybody was wearing a lot of black and oversized things you could put on your pirate boots. When you're wearing a vintage dress, you can wear them with that. You can wear them with quite a lot of different styles. You can wear them with, say, cos. You can have them fully on show. You can have them like not so on show. They're just really good. They're really comfortable. They're really well made. Yeah, I love them. I love them. I think they are the best in black, or I think they are best in the kind of the brownie colour. If they still do that, I would say avoid getting them in suede, just because they will mark and damage easier than the leather, and the leather ones really do go on forever. I do think the squiggle print are really cool, but they are quite a look and they're harder to match up with your outfits, I personally found. But yeah, they're just really cool, iconic boots. You can really like sit them down quite low on your leg. You can strap them so that they go quite high on your leg. And yeah, they're just nice and accommodating if you have a high instep or you have a chunkier thigh. They're just really good boots. I love them. Yeah, I've had these literally 15 years, if not marginally longer. I might have had them more like 16 years. I've had them for a really long time. And yeah, I have sold my other pairs over the years because I've needed the money, but these ones in the black have remained a constant, and I just think they're really cool. And I love the fact that they're still made in England. I love the fact that you often have to pre-order them. I just think they are such cool boots, and they can be worn in so many different ways. So anyway, that is my video. Thank you so much for watching. I hope it was of help and interest, and I will see you again soon. Goodbye.